Alan Knobloch. I'm the director of the International School at Dakar. I wanted to take some time to talk with you about the compensation package here at ISD. Our Board of Trustees has worked hard to make sure that our compensation package is competitively not only within Africa, but certainly worldwide. We're actually at the end of a 5-year compensation plan where the board worked to provide steady compensation salary increases to improve our competitiveness. The plan was agreed upon 5 years ago by the board, and provided enrollment remained stable, every year the board approved those increases, and in fact last year approved enhancements to the compensation plan, and they're looking to do so again this year on top of what they had previously approved. When looking at international schools, the most important question is not what is the salary that you make, but your ability to save. Local taxes, housing costs, high cost of living will all eat into what you may make. The nice thing about our package here in Senegal is there are no local taxes at this time. So what you see is what you get. That generally increases our ability to save. And most single teachers tell me that they can save about 40% of their base salary every year. That of course depends upon your style of living and how much you want to travel. One of the benefits of coming to Senegal is how close we are to Europe. We're 4 hours away from Lisbon or Madrid, 5 hours from Paris, Milan, or Brussels. And so quite frequently on vacations you can have a large number of our staff flying up to Europe and enjoying some great vacations. But that's why we do what we do, right? When comparing compensation packages, actually build a spreadsheet. Sit down, list out all your cash benefits, understand when they come, understand whether they're paid in US dollars or local currency, take out your taxes or any housing costs or any other hidden costs, and that'll give you at the end of the day what good chances for your ability to save. Here at ISD we have a fairly traditional salary scale, which is based on years of experience plus your degrees. Like many international schools, we do have a maximum entry step, which is clearly defined. And then from there's annual step increases that are on the salary scale. In addition to that, the board has looked to improve the salary scale by 2–3% every year. And for our overseas hired teachers, they've also been increasing our overseas hire allowance. So let me run through some of the basic parts. You have your basic salary. From there you get a 5% retirement, which is paid out in June. And then for our overseas hired teachers, there is an overseas hire allowance. This is given in recognition of the fact that you are moving you and probably your family to Senegal, and to help offset some of the costs that you would find here as opposed to somewhere else. The overseas hire allowance at the moment is 17%, and we're hoping to move it up even higher. After that, you have the standard housing with utility allowance. There should generally not be too many costs for you in terms of your housing and maintaining it. One of the best parts around that is that the the apartments are leased directly between the school and the landlord. So you don't have to go look for an apartment, you don't have to deal with if there's repairs that need to be made and such, that can be done by our staff. We take in requests from faculty at the beginning of the year, the new hires, in terms of where they'd like to be placed, closer to school or further away. You're placed in that apartment for the first year, and then every year faculty have the ability to request to move to a new unit or to a new building if they want. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of houses. Dakar is really a big overgrown fishing village in many ways. And the housing here is becoming extremely expensive. So about 90% of our housing is apartment. We do try to cluster our teachers so that we don't want you to be overwhelmed living in one entire building of teachers, but you may have 12 units and 6 or 8 of them are our staff. In some cases we try to put families with young children together or single females or what have you. There is a utility allowance to cover your electric and water. The basic idea, as long as you stay under that utility allowance, then you don't owe the school any money. If you happen to go over the allowance, then you would owe the school the difference. Very, very few of our people go over it, and it's generally the people who leave their air conditioning on all day when they're at work. The finance team will keep you apprised of where you stand within your allowance if you're coming close to going over.
Okay. Hi, my name is Suzanne and I am the Assistant Director at ISD. I'd like to share some information on housing for overseas hires. The school has 55 housing units. Mostly are 3-bedroom apartments and then 10 houses. All school housing has 24-hour security guard service. The units are furnished and appliances include a fridge, a gas range, and a washing machine. All apartments are equipped with internet and most have fiber optic service. The school's HR office sets up payment upon arrival to Dakar for internet service. The school is located in Fennet Mermoz, which is right across from the Atlantic Ocean. Some of our housing is located near the school, but most of our units are located in the Almaties area, which is where many diplomatic personnel have homes. The ride from Almaties to the school with heavy traffic in the morning takes about 30 minutes. The school is lucky to have a very competent operations coordinator, Mr. Abubakar Ndoye, and Abubakar's team takes care of maintaining our housing units. He has an online logbook where staff can request services and track progress. We know that living in a developing country can be difficult, but ISD does its best to provide comfortable living spaces that teachers will want to call their home.
We have high quality health insurance. It's through TICARE. Many of you may have had that through other international schools. For Americans, TICARE is worldwide, which means it covers the United States and all the other countries. If you're not an American citizen, then the coverage is international except for the US. In the US, the insurance carrier is Aetna, one of the major companies, and it works like an HMO. So basically you have to look at what's in network, what's out of network, make sure you're communicating well. Healthcare here in Senegal is fairly good. It works very well for about 80% of what you need it for. And in fact, they actually do house calls. One of our main providers, SOS Medicine, does house calls with doctors. You call them up and they'll get to you to the school or your house within an hour to 2 hours. My famous story is one morning I woke up and I was feeling really, really sick. I thought I had a strep throat. We called the doctor. He was at the house within an hour, checked me out, confirmed that I had strep throat, gave me a prescription. The gate guard went to the pharmacy for me, and within 90 minutes of waking up, I had seen a doctor, had taken the medicine, and I was back in bed. There's quality imaging here in terms of CAT scans and MRIs and those types of things. Very good pediatricians that our staff can recommend. And so it's a good package. The other 20% of life, heaven forbid there's something more serious, then most people go back to their home country or Thailand or other places where there's really excellent care to get those things taken care of. We have a couple really special benefits that I think. Number one is our professional development allowance. The PD allowance is currently $1,500 per year. We're hoping it's going to go up in the future. This covers conference registration, flights, hotels, or per diem as well. You can use it, combine it over any 2 years. So if you don't use it 1 year, you then would have $3,000 the next year to use. If you're going to do a conference, say in the States or in Europe over the summer when you're already there, you generally can do one event per year. If you're going to go from Senegal, you're probably only going to do one event every 2 years, because what you'll see, just the flight alone will eat up a lot of your PD allowance. It's a nice benefit, allows teachers to move themselves through. You do have to talk with your principal about it, but basically you have freedom to use that money as you wish. In terms of PD, the school also brings in a number of trainers and facilitators throughout the school year. At the moment, we're focusing on IB-PYP and IB-MYP. So for the past 2 years, we've been bringing in trainers for the primary years program, 2 trainers a year in the fall. and we've been doing MYP training in January as well. In addition to that, if you're an IB diploma teacher and your curriculum is coming to be up for review, we send you off to one of the trainings at our cost. If you're new to IB diploma, then of course we would pay for your initial training as well. Professional development for our staff is very important to us, and we actually spend 2% of our overall budget just on professional development. Another nice benefit we have is a wellness allowance. It's currently $650 per employee, and it's a family benefit. Wellness is meant to cover any out-of-pocket costs related to eyeglasses, dental, prescriptions, or what have you. But you can also use it for running shoes, tennis rackets, golf clubs, massages. It's a family benefit, so if you have children, you can use it to help offset the cost of your children's braces or other costs. It's basically anything that you can convince me. It's a self-insured benefit, so you have to convince me that it's tied to your health and wellness. We just had a staff member this year use their wellness allowance to buy an annual membership to one of the local hotels so they can go to the pool and the beach on the weekends. And as he explained to me, that's a big part of keeping himself healthy and feeling good, which is really important. So it's a nice benefit that, like I said, it's an annual benefit. You get it every year, and it's a self-insured, so you submit the receipt and we pay you back. There are the other normal pieces to the package, shipping, annual flights, and the like. If you choose to extend your contract, there is some bonuses. So for example, teachers, if you sign on for a third year, you get a $2,000 bonus. In your fourth year, you get $3,000. And in your fifth year, you get $4,000. Again, past increases, I can't guarantee that they're going to continue at this rate, but we have seen the overall package increase about 20% over the past 3 years. Our board is committed to making sure that we have a competitive package. We routinely benchmark against other schools here in Africa and the Middle East. And we want teachers to be happy and comfortable and feel like they have the ability to save in addition to travel. So as we go through the recruiting process, we definitely give you all the information that you need to make a quality decision. We're certainly here to ask questions. So it's a good package. So let's talk.